You're ready for a comeback. And with Purdue Global, you can do more than take classes. You can take charge of your story, of your career, of your life. Earn a degree you can be proud of and get an education employers respect. It's time, your time, not just to go back to school, but to come back and move forward with Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback at purdueglobal.edu.
This is a mini meditation guided by Bombas. Repeat after me. I'm comfy. I'm cozy. I have 0 blisters on my toes. And that's because I wear Bombas, the softest socks, underwear, and T-shirts that give back. One purchased equals one donated. Now go to bombas.com/ACAST and use code ACAST for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/ACAST and use code ACAST at checkout.
Hey there. Looking to level up your shopping experience? Let me introduce you to Amazon Live. If you haven't heard, it's a shoppable video experience where influencers and creators showcase the latest must-haves all while you shop in real time. And for those who love some celeb gossip, reality stars like Kyle Richards, Lala Kent, and friend of the pod, Paige DeSorbo. On her new show, In Bed with Paige DeSorbo, Paige invites top-tier guests to cozy up in her fluffy bed where they spill secrets, share nighttime routines, and even whip up midnight snacks. Stream and shop new episodes of her series In Bed with Paige DeSorbo every Tuesday at 7 p.m. ET by going to amazon.com/live/Paige_DeSorbo. Or you can watch Amazon Live's new live TV channel on Freevee or Prime Video under the DIY section and shop along on your phone.
Surviving Sister Wives contains adult content that may not be suitable for Latter-day Saints or sinners. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Sister Wives, the podcast where a monogamous couple drink heavily while recapping Sister Wives on TLC.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly, and this is Season 17, Episode 11, The Worst Goodbye.
I think this would be my advice to Christine. Don't go for the worst goodbye. Go for the Irish goodbye. You could have just faded this entire scenario. You didn't need to be here.
She was trying to Irish goodbye.
I know she was, and she should have. Don't let Mykelti guilt you into doing stuff that you don't want to do. You knew. Trust your instincts.
We all knew this wasn't going to go well, right?
Pretty much. I mean, this was just, you're begging for complications here.
Why invite Kody? Maybe it could have been okay without Kody.
No, because then, well...
Isn't that the moral of this family? They would have been okay without Kody.
It would have just been Janelle and her kids. That's your safe...
Yeah,
perfect. Those are the people that are on your team. Because obviously when we divide it into segments here, we know whose side is on whose, where everybody stands.
We're not taking sides, though. No one's taking sides.
There are no sides. We can't pick sides, but there are very clearly defined sides.
Until we visually watched them take sides.
Until we establish sides to choose from where we will physically stand. Then there are sides, and we're picking which side.
This felt like OG Sister Wives. We're getting back to, I don't know, the feel of storylines in a few seasons ago.
Yeah, because I feel like the series so far this season has vastly improved in the quality of the content. Because
the drama.
Good. Yeah, the drama's there. But this one felt a little bit more like an old school Sister Wives episode where we get some room to kind of manufacture our own storyline within the storyline.
That's our specialty.
Which I prefer. I like this.
Want to hit us with the TLC description?
So the episode description for this one is, Christine reveals that she's open to getting married again someday. Janelle frustrates Kody when she makes another change to her living situation. After packing up Christine's house, Mykelti urges the family to get together for one last awkward goodbye.
Is awkward in there?
Oh yeah, it's in there.
I got my episode description from Google again. Awkward wasn't in there.
This is from Discovery Plus. Straight from the pony's mouth.
The network was like, that was awkward. Make sure you put that in there.
It is weird. But I know that that's not the full story. We got to hear the Carly episode rewrite.
Kody becomes jealous of Christine and Janelle's friendship. Mykelti offers baby Avalon at the altar of the She-Rah Chateau. The families stare at one another until it starts to rain.
Got some weather coming in.
Thank God for that weather, because really, how else would this have ended? At least they had a convenient excuse.
Oh, see, this just hurt my Midwest sensibilities too. To drive over to somebody's house, to stand in their backyard for 3 minutes. Just, that doesn't make sense. Why would you do this? You got to stay at least an hour, maybe 2.
I was going to say, the concept of a goodbye, a succinct, quick goodbye, doesn't make much sense to you in general.
No, yeah, it's got to be hand on the doorknob for at least 30 minutes. Coats on, moving it along.
God, it gives me such bad anxiety. But before we get into the episode, I want to thank all of our patrons out there, the courting wives,
The spiritual wives.
the legal wives, of course, not the basement wives. You can join us in the virtual cul-de-sac over on patreon.com/survivingpod. We're going to be making some changes over there. Don't worry, nothing to the tiers, but in terms of our activity.
Yeah, I think Twitter is circling the drain, as it would appear. We're kind of closing in on the final days as a platform, apparently. So make sure you're joining the Patreon. Jump on the Discord. We might not be live tweeting if there's no more Twitter to tweet on. So we'll probably just be shifting gears and taking that over to the Discord for the conversation.
So join us there. You can add gifts there too. So not missing anything from the experience over on Twitter.
We don't want to feed the Elon Musk beast over at Twitter, as it turns out. I'll keep my gifts on Discord. Thank you very much.
I had to say, we were creating some top quality content.
Yeah, better put that in the Library of Congress, in the archives. Some of the gifts that we've tweeted. It's going to be losing a national treasure here.
And just a reminder, if you are a legal wife on Patreon, you're able to leave us a voicemail with our super secret call-in number. And we have 2 very exciting voicemails today.
Kind of on a similar theme here. So we'll start off with a fantastic voicemail here from Caitlin.
Hi, Corey and Carly. This is legal wife Caitlin. My question for you is, if Christine asked you to help her design her new dating style, what would you put in? From styling the profile picture to setting her interests and bio, and to putting in what type of person she's looking to meet. Would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you guys so much. Love the podcast. Bye.
I like this question. It's spicy. It's fun. It lets us get creative. Did you have anything for the dating profile? I know that you were fortunate to not have to delve into the world of online dating.
Well, yeah, that's what messed me up, is I've never had to make an online dating profile, so I don't know what you put on an online dating profile.
Humble brag.
Well, just saying.
You don't have anything?
I don't know what goes into that. Jedi in the streets, Sith in the sheets, I believe would be in my online dating profile.
Nothing for Christine?
Oh, okay.
I thought that would be a good one.
That works for her too.
All right. We'll add that to mine. I have 50 and flirty. Looking for the Lancelot to my Guinevere. Enjoy cooking for 2 and role-playing games. Swipe left if you like karaoke or romantic picnics overlooking the mountains.
That's pretty good. That's pretty spot on. I was going to say, you got to have something Harry Potter themed in there, like newly single witch seeks loving warlock, something.
I love that.
Must love kids and dogs.
Oh, this could get so fun.
It could get interesting pretty quick. But let us know in the Discord.
Build on that.
Whatever you think would go into Christine's dating profile, let us know.
And then we've got another great voicemail from legal wife Anne.
Hi, Corey and Carly. It's legal wife Anne. I was wondering if Christine was to date anybody else from another TLC show, or even anyone from any Bravo show. I was just wondering who you think would be a good candidate. So yeah, thank you so much for your show. I love it so much, and I always look forward to every episode. So thanks. Love you guys. Bye.
So thank you for that question, Anne. We love you too, but only in a husbandly duty sort of way, not in a romantic way. I feel like I need to clarify that before we jump into the answer. But who from TLC or Bravo would be a good match for Christine? Probably nobody on TLC.
I was going to say, I really struggled with this because I feel like so many people on reality TV are bad people.
Well, okay, so maybe one person from TLC that comes to mind for me. It's John from John and Kate Plus 8. And then they can pair up very well on the fact that they were both in very abusive relationships.
That is true, but Corey John is not a great person.
Allegedly. Because that was a whole story that was fabricated after he signed his NDA, where he was not going to be able to respond to anything. That's when Kate started saying he slept with the babysitter. He slept with this other person.
The
and
nanny.
He didn't get to dispute this. The
nanny. They both
Right.
hate nannies.
Yes, this is another thing that they can bond on.
They have lots of children. They both have that experience of raising a small army of children.
But again, trash people? Yeah, probably. Nobody is good enough for Christine.
That's true.
By our standards, too.
Really, I hope she finds a person who has no interest in being on reality TV, and we never see their face, ever. Because people who end up being on reality TV, not great for the most part.
Did you have a specific person in mind?
I did not, because as I was trying to think, I just kept thinking of all the terrible people that we've met over the years in the TV world.
You think of all the 90-day people, and that's no good. You don't want to get involved with any of that. But maybe on the Bravo side, maybe there's a captain of a boat on below deck that we could steer her way.
I like that. Let's find her someone from a young man from New Zealand who is in his up-and-coming career within the yachting industry.
Good with knots. Should be into that. somebody from the below deck universe who knows their way around the knots.
Oh, boy.
But thank you, Caitlin and Ann, for those wonderful voicemails. If you're a legal wife out there on Patreon, make sure you use the super secret dial-in number and the passcode that's posted on Patreon to leave us a voicemail, ask us a question, or share your thoughts about the episodes.
One last important announcement. If you don't listen to any of the rest of the announcements, let this soak in.
Oh, yeah. Soak it in.
Soak it in. Over the next few weeks, getting this podcast out may be a little bit delayed because Corey's traveling for something called work. Something Robin doesn't know anything about.
Right, yeah, something that's unrelatable there.
What does that mean? We're not exactly sure. We're going to have to be flexible. What it probably means is the episode will not drop on Sunday night.
Hoping for the best that we're able to publish before what we used to publish on Wednesdays, and we've been cranking them out earlier and sooner for the latest and greatest here. Not exactly sure what the schedule's going to look like. So we'll stay tuned for that, but we will have an episode. It just probably won't be dropping right on Sunday night.
Yeah, so if you don't see something, please do not send me a ton of messages on Discord and Twitter.
Don't stress the servers
emails.
on Twitter. Yeah, just don't push it any further. They're teetering on the edge as it is.
Okay, let's get this pony in the water because it's got a ways to swim this episode.
Right. So we are at Christine's house. Janelle's coming over to talk after Kody's blow up. So we're just going to have a continued conversation here on Christine's porch, on the back porch there. And Janelle was just shocked by Kody's behavior. This is so out of the ordinary for him to be this angry.
Christine was like, wow, he got aggressive. And I was not expecting that at all.
Because Christine's seen him angry, but he just completely lost it at that conversation.
It makes you wonder, right? Because as an audience, I think we've been getting primed for how upset and angry Kody is because we've been watching all of his confessional footage. But really, he's just been up in the She-Rah Chateau with Robin, hiding, ranting. And they got to see it firsthand. Didn't see it coming.
Well, and we get to relive most of the rant again, too, because they had to show the flashback footage to that again. But this is where the confusion was, too, because, again, Kody was throwing out these accusations about how Christine's never tried to have these relationships with these people. She doesn't know where that's coming from. And she didn't realize that she wasn't giving Robin a chance, but she didn't think she was being mean or mistreating her in any way. It's a very volatile situation here.
I think this is a little bit of Kody rewriting history because maybe in the past few years, there just hasn't been a relationship, and he is acting as though that means that Christine was doing that from a mean place, where it's more of just a this is how things are type situation. But we saw when Robin joined the family early on, again, another issue that they tell us was resolved that apparently was not. Christine wasn't so happy about Robin coming into the family at the time that she did with everything that was going on. And then she changed her attitude about it because Kody asked her to.
Well, then again, it's just Kody confusing the reasons why he's upset with which wife.
Mm-hmm.
These are Mary accusations that he's pointing at Christine, but he forgot. Because honestly, he doesn't even remember that he's supposed to attribute those to Mary. That's how far down on the list she's fallen here. But what I didn't like was that this was basically just Janelle trying to apologize for Kody's actions. So you'll never get an apology from Kody, but Janelle will be here to try to apologize for him on his behalf, without his consent, though, I'm sure, because he doesn't want any apologies going towards Christine, because it's her fault for everything.
Janelle does kind of hold Christine accountable for one thing, which was what she said about continuing to have a relationship with some people and not being into working on a relationship with others. She tells her it came across, at least to Janelle, which definitely means it came across that way to Robin, that she just didn't want to have a relationship with Robin or Mary anymore.
Well, Christine didn't realize, she thought that Robin was asking her about the relationship with other sister wives. But what Christine wasn't fully realizing was that Robin was essentially asking about her kids as well, maintaining a relationship with Christine. And that's where, when Christine was adamant about she's not pursuing any of those other relationships at this point in time, she could see how that could upset Robin. But honestly, Robin even admitted that she was being super vague. She was being vague as hell during that conversation because she wasn't specifically saying me. She was saying, these people that you don't have relationships with right now, do you want to continue not having relationships with those people who will remain anonymous? We don't want to call anybody out specifically, but she meant her and her kids, but she didn't say that. So then just say that. If you're just talking in circles, Christine doesn't know what you're saying.
Well, this is one of the reasons why there are issues in this relationship and why being a plural family when you communicate like this isn't going to work.
Nobody's being direct. Everybody's beating around the bush. It's not working out.
Kody's not real thrilled about this whole thing. He especially doesn't understand why Janelle would now turn around and be friends with Christine, this nasty woman who complained about her for years, especially the past 4 years where she had a lot of shit to talk about the Biggie Housie.
Well, of all the people in the family and all of the communication styles that are around, Christine and Janelle are the ones who are trying to figure out what their future looks like, and they're communicating the best. So Kody is definitely jealous, and that's the word I want to use specifically. He is jealous that Janelle and Christine's relationship is better now than it has ever been because he's been trying to win Janelle back at this point, which has not been working.
I don't really know exactly what he's doing to win her back.
He's not doing anything. He just wants her to be on his side, and that's his way of winning her back.
Well, and the funny thing about this is one of the things that he's upset about is that Christine did not have better relationships with her sister wives, which really he just means Robin. Because she does have a good one with Janelle, one that's so good that she's calling Janelle one of her best friends, and he does not like that. So how do you win? There's no winning. He likes when they're pinned against each other, just not when it causes him too many issues.
Right, but with a love as true as Christine and Janelle's, you don't need labels for that. You don't need a sister wife label. They're BFFs. That's probably it. If you're going to put a label on it, that's probably it.
I also didn't understand the whole thing about the one house because do you recall Christine talking shit about Janelle? Or just in general, she disagreed with Janelle because she did not like the house. Janelle did like the house.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just because Christine wasn't folding to that. She was actually standing up and saying, no, I'm not okay with this. I don't want to move forward with this.
Her first show of independence that Kody didn't like.
But if anything, that just shows you that Christine and Janelle don't agree on everything, but they still get along really well.
Look at that. Yeah, and they actually disagreed about the house in a civil way and then went on to have a relationship afterwards.
And still do to this day, even with all the other changes in their circumstance as well. So who haven't we heard from in a while, as usual?
Our little Eeyore.
It's Mary. Mary's really upset. She doesn't consider Christine a sister wife because you have to have a marriage to the same man to be a sister wife. So does Mary not count as a sister wife anymore either? Because by Kody's definition, they don't have a marriage anymore.
I don't know why anyone's asking Mary for her opinion on anything when it comes to this.
Mary is playing with fire with all of these definitions that she's throwing around, all these stipulations that she has of you can't be considered a sister wife. You are not part of this family unless you have a marriage to this man, and that's a shared bond between you all. Be careful, Mary. You're getting too specific, and you will be excluded by your own definitions very soon here.
This is another situation where just say what you want to say. You don't like Christine. You don't have a friendship with Christine. She doesn't want one with you. She's not married to your husband anymore. So you don't want anything to do with her.
Because Mary's picked her side, even though there's not sides. But this is the first spot that we're going to have a conversation about the proposition of maybe there's some sides being taken in the family here.
Yeah, Janelle's not really sure what to do because it's appearing as though she's choosing sides, and she's really trying not to because she knows that it's going to be a situation where she's damned if she does, she's damned if she doesn't. It just sucks all around for her. She's in a really hard place.
So now she knows the holidays are coming up. The holidays have always been driven by Christine, and that's managed in that way. She can't imagine the holidays without the larger extended family getting together, Christine's kids and her kids. She's worried that this is going to align her with Christine a little too closely and upset Kody and Robin and Mary, because if she goes and spends the holidays with Christine in her newly found independent life, this is going to cause problems in her existing relationships that she has with her current sister wives and not legal, husband.
I cannot wait to see that go down because you know that that's going to be messy.
So we're just paving the way to later on this season, maybe getting around the holidays. You know there's going to be blow up and backlash related to any of those decisions that come down the wire.
Now Janelle asks what the plans with Truly are, which it was nice of her to ask the question because it doesn't seem like Kody has. We even had to talk about the situation with Truly when he was so insistent that they needed a custody agreement episodes ago. Totally dropped that conversation.
Well, and that's what Christine explains to Janelle. Kody has pitched the idea, in theory, of Truly coming over to Robin's house since they started this whole separation conversation, like 10 episodes ago at the beginning of this season. Do you remember? And he still hasn't come through on any of that. No progress has been made. Zero.
Yep. So as usual, he's talking a big game. He has no follow through. But to be honest, it's okay because it doesn't really seem like Truly's that into the idea anyway. So I'm assuming that's why Christine hasn't brought it up again.
To be fair, yeah, it didn't sound like Truly was comfortable staying the night, not necessarily because it's at Robin and Kody's house, just the night away from Christine.
Doesn't that tell you something, though, about the sister-wife relationship that's supposed to be had here? Remember how the older kids would stay at the other houses? Peyton stayed in Janelle's part of the house at one point when the kids were little so that he could be with the other boys. And now we have poor little Truly, who is uncomfortable even going to Robin's house to spend a night there because she has not had someone else watch her.
And that was what Janelle was even asking, do you think she'd come back for the summer? And Christine was like, not a whole summer. You'd be lucky to get a weekend out of her because I don't think she's comfortable being away from home because home is with Christine.
Part of that, though, I think is a thing where kid's getting older. She's going to be a little bit less attached to you, and she'll get used to having to go spend the weekend at her dad's house. So I think Christine's probably going to have to adjust to that idea a bit too over time. But Kody has made no effort to help ease Truly into that transition because now what's going to happen is they're going to live hours and hours away, whereas he could have had Truly stay the night at Robin's and tried it out. And if she was upset and wanted to go home, it's a mile away. Not anymore.
Yeah, now there's an uncertainty. Doesn't know what the future holds with visitation, but Kody suspects he's going to need to travel to Utah, the least favorable state in the union by his definition. So that's going to be a real pain in the ass for him.
I guarantee we never see this man get in a car to go pick Truly up in Utah.
Nope. Any of the stuff that we've seen on social media, it was Mykelti who was bringing Truly to visit Robin and Kody at their house. So far, from what we've seen on social media.
The next thing that Janelle brings up has to be a producer-prompted question because they know we all want the answer to this too, right? What are Christine's plans? Is she open to remarrying one day?
And Christine clarifies that yes, she is open to remarrying, but has to stipulate not to Kody. Not remarrying Kody in any way, shape, or form. This would be a new suitor, preferably.
I did like that she brought the LOLs there.
Oh, yes.
She was like, she was very pleased with her jokes.
Just to make sure we're all on the same page here. But she's got a lot of stuff to sort out. It's a whole new life out there as part of this Utah reboot at 50. So it's going to be a lot to process, a lot to go through right now. So it's not really like she has any current prospects on the horizon.
It was nice that Janelle was talking about wanting to like whoever Christine ends up marrying, because that shows that she wants to continue to be in Christine's life for a long time to come. It was a little weird, the comment I thought about, she's only 50 years old. She's young. I can't imagine being alone for the rest of your life.
She's not dead yet. You know what that means.
Well, first of all, she was alone in her marriage for a very long time. So this is an improvement. Just being single is an improvement.
To step up. Not bad. But I know what everybody is thinking right now is, what does Kody feel about all this? That is, dear listener, that is the question that is top of mind for you, I am sure. Because that was exactly where we were. Because we have to cut over to Kody and hear his input on this, which I don't fucking care at all what his input is on any of this. But here it comes.
I literally didn't even take notes because I was so not interested in what he thought about this.
His heart is broken. And maybe that's why he's still mad. Because he's been fighting these feelings. Because apparently
I thought you were going to break out into song.
No, because apparently he still doesn't know why he was mad. Even though he was pretty certain on that last conversation, he was screaming at Christine. That's why he's mad, is because you've always been a dick to Robin. He was pretty sure about that.
I'm pretty sure about that.
I guess he still doesn't know because he's still trying to figure out why he's so sad.
I think every day he finds a new reason to be mad at Christine. So now he can't keep track of them anymore.
That's correct. So we're just going to stuff more of those fill-ins deep down. Let's not address them. We can't think about them too much. We have to go help Janelle with her RV. He's still in the fog of divorce. And somehow everything is Christine's fault. That's okay. I'm sure she's been fucking up the RV settings. And it's not self-leveling properly because Christine is over there fiddling with it. And he's just waiting to find the evidence of that.
It was funny that he started out by saying, well, I know my other relationships need attention too. So he's going to do something really romantic with Janelle, which is to go work on the RV together.
And relationships, plural, he can drop that S pretty quick because we know you're not putting any attention into your relationship with Mary. There is no relationship there.
Things are not good out on Coyote Pass with the RV.
Dear God, pour a cement slab. I don't know how else to tell you this because this would solve a lot of the problems that they're having right now. I mean, not the electricity. Obviously, that's still an issue.
Not the running water.
No, not that. But at least you would have a level RV. Your plumbing wouldn't be backing up.
I'm just picturing Janelle trying to put things down on a table inside that thing and everything's rolling off onto the floor every 2 seconds.
It's like Titanic when Jack's handcuffed to the bicycle sinking and he's rolling the bullet. The security guy's rolling the bullet down the table.
Oh my God. It's not good. They're not able to get this thing to stay level. We basically just watch them argue about what needs to be done.
I think it's more so Kody doesn't realize he's seeing that they're working on this stuff. It's stupid things that they're arguing about because it's just a mundane thing, but there's animosity behind it too. And Kody doesn't even realize he's resenting Janelle for this situation. He wouldn't even be out here on Coyote Pass messing around with this RV if she hadn't gone out and bought it. So he resents her for this. He doesn't piece that together though. He doesn't say that.
He starts to be a little passive aggressive and imply it, but he won't outright say it. And then the other part of it is clearly that he's upset with the fact that Janelle has taken a side by being kind to Christine through the divorce.
I think that's the other thing too, because he's trying to blame the unwinding of 20 years of polygamy, trying to make it Christine's fault somehow here too, of course, because he doesn't know how to process his own emotions.
This is when he said that he thought that this thing was a piece of shit and that they got sold a lemon. And that's why it's never leveled the entire time they've had it. It's not that they don't know what they're doing. It's that something is wrong with the RV. And so that's where I felt like, oh, so there you're saying that if Janelle had never bought this thing because she's the one who went and sought it out herself and what she found was a lemon, you wouldn't have all these issues.
Well, this is where I started getting confused because then I was wondering, why are they showing us clips of Robin when she was accusing Christine from their argument last week about how they never really communicated when Christine was saying that her and Kody had improved on their communication since they'd separated. And then I realized, oh, it's because Cody's talking about how he and Janelle have never really communicated and are continuing to not communicate effectively. So it's almost like these are Robin's words and Robin's theories that are coming out of Cody's mouth in his assessment of his relationship with Janelle.
Mm-hmm. And here we go. Janelle is just the next in line to be shoved out of the family because he's doing the same thing he did to Mary, and then he did it to Christine, and now he's going to reuse the same excuses that he learned from the last one and apply it to Janelle.
He's using the exact same rationale for every single wife except for Robin, because she's the only one that he really loves. The perfect wife.
And the man who doesn't hold a grudge is holding a grudge about the fact that they never really sat down and had an in-depth, deep conversation about purchasing this RV, spending all of this money.
And that Janelle didn't even try to look for a place to rent. He knew there were places to rent in Flagstaff because he was looking at the time. Maybe that was around the time when Christina kicked him out, so he didn't have a bedroom to stay in over there, so he was checking out places.
Think he was trying to rent a spare?
He was over on apartments.com just in case, checking it out.
Is that what he does from the car all day when he drives around? He's just on
He's
Zillow?
just going.
He's going.
He's going.
Janelle kind of denies this. She basically tells the producers that, look, I have conversations with him. What he actually absorbs and is present for, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, he probably didn't hear the conversation. He didn't tune in for that part of it because most of the time he's not paying attention or he's just not around at all. So, yeah, it's really hard to gauge what information Kody has received at any given time.
Cut to Janelle telling Kody some bad news. We're going to need to rent something for about 6 months. I'm going to have to go into town. I cannot spend the winter on this property in this RV. So I'll just come back in April. And if things are working out as well as they have been so far, it should be around the same time that we're going to break ground to build the little fajita casita.
Don't hold your breath on that one either. Yeah, because we have 6 weeks until the permit is up for her to be living in the RV on the land. She was hoping to stay in the RV all winter. That was the plan. That was why she bought this RV in the first place. But now it's looking like she's probably not going to have electricity, and clearly nothing is being built. I think Janelle finally put 2 and 2 together and realized I've just been backburnered out here. There is no plan to build anything or prepare anything to help me literally survive the winter.
No, what do you think is going to happen if she stayed the winter out there? Cody's not going to come rescue her when it's snowing and dig her out every day.
She's not. Oh, yeah. He's not digging anybody out. Not in the ways that they need them.
It's just going to get a whole lot worse if she stays out on the property.
A whole lot more stupider.
A whole lot more stupid. He's really never going to come over if he can't stay outside.
For real. Yeah. So she's got to go into town. And Janelle is approaching this as, this is a problem. I'm going to fix it, because she knows if she asks Kody for his input to solve it, it's never going to get done. So she's just taking this and running with it, which that's normally how the family operated. You didn't bring problems to Kody. You just fixed them on your own and did that.
Unless you're Robin.
Unless you're Robin, because then when Robin joined the family, then she became the damsel in distress, and he loved swooping in and saving the day for Robin. Still nobody else. Everybody else figure out your own shit.
We just watched him do it a few seasons ago when she had a fucking crisis because she had to leave her rental. And he literally left in the middle of Maddie having a baby to go sign paperwork with Robin because she's incapable of buying a house on her own.
So Janelle was seeing this as, this is a positive because I'm telling you about this problem, but I've already fixed it. I already found a place in Flagstaff that I can go rent for 6 months. That's the exact time span that we need this for. We're going to get in on the lease, and that's it. But then Kody takes this as this is just yet another decision that Janelle has made without my consideration. I haven't been involved in it. This is just another wife telling me what's going on in my life, and I have no control over the situation.
She's running it by you right now. Did she tell you that she already signed the lease?
To an extent, she's kind of running it by him to say, hey, this is what I'm doing. I've already made this decision and this is what's happening. Because then that's what Kody's argument becomes too, is then why the hell did we buy this RV?
I mean, that's a valid question, sir.
To say yes, I can't fault Kody for asking Janelle at that point either. Why did we blow all this money on the RV idea if we're just going to end up renting someplace anyway?
Well, I guess to fire back at that, I thought I was going to have to live in this thing for that long.
That would be the appropriate response. And Janelle argues as well, too, over the past 4 months of living in the RV, she's made a ton of progress on whatever they were working for towards getting the land prepared at Coyote Pass. Clearly, they're not doing any construction with the land, but maybe financially she's been working some stuff around.
It sounded like they had plans, too. Like she knows what she wants to build. Thank God. Probably because Kody wasn't involved and has no idea what that looks like.
So it was just funny to see the disagreement as well, too, because Janelle was pointing out Kody complains about living in the RV all the time. And so when she's saying, hey, we'll move into town for a couple of months, and then he's like, no, not that.
This is how you know that Janelle's now the basement wife. Nothing she does is right, and he really doesn't want to help her with any of her problems.
That's what it is. But in typical Janelle fashion, we got some weather rolling in. We got a storm a-brewing here. So it's time to pack this up. We can call it a day.
The new Boost Mobile network is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for life.
That sounds like a threat.
Then how do you think we should say it?
Unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for the rest of your life?
I don't know.
Until your ultimate demise.
What if we just say forever?
Okay.
$25 a month, forever.
Get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile forever.
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Bombas makes the most comfortable socks, underwear, and T-shirts.
Warning, Bombas are so absurdly comfortable you may throw out all your other clothes.
Sorry, do we legally have to say that?
No, this is just how I talk, and I really love my Bombas.
They do feel that good. And they do good, too. One item purchased equals one item donated.
To feel good and do good, go to bombas.com/ACAST and use code ACAST for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/ACAST and use code ACAST at checkout.
Hey there. Looking to level up your shopping experience? Let me introduce you to Amazon Live. If you haven't heard, it's a shoppable video experience where influencers and creators showcase the latest must-haves all while you shop in real time. And for those who love some celeb gossip, reality stars like Kyle Richards, Lala Kent, and friend of the pod, Paige DeSorbo. On her new show, In Bed with Paige DeSorbo, Paige invites top-tier guests to cozy up in her fluffy bed where they spill secrets, share nighttime routines, and even whip up midnight snacks. Stream and shop new episodes of her series In Bed with Paige DeSorbo every Tuesday at 7 p.m. ET by going to amazon.com/live/Paige_DeSorbo. Or you can watch Amazon Live's new live TV channel on Freevee or Prime Video under the DIY section and shop along on your phone.
Now, back at Christine's house, it's time to tell Truly. Apparently, she's also the last to know that they're moving to Utah in a week. She gets the whole plan out there, right? They got a house. They found something quicker than they expected in Utah. It's ready. Christine tells us, the audience, that she's just honestly not willing to wait to move at this point because she could wait until her house actually gets closed on and then she knows that she really sold it. But instead, she's ready to leave now.
I mean, to be fair, you got to be out of that house anyway. And even if it does fall through, you'll be able to show it easier. You'll be able to turn it around and get another offer really, really quick.
I guess, but if you're worried about how your kid's going to react to it, it was like, well, why are you rushing the situation then?
That's where I can't agree with it as well, too, because that's Truly's only input on the whole thing. Wow, this is really fast. This is very sudden. I did not expect it to be a week's notice.
I could see, though, after that conversation that she had with the other adults, that you might want to make sure you get out of there in 7 days flat.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen after this now that the relationships are really on the fringe. Things are not going well.
Yeah, it's not going to improve any more time that you spend there. So while it would be nice to have Truly, be able to hang out with friends or say goodbye to people that she wants to in a timely fashion and have the time for that, I think overall, Christine's saying it's better to just get out of here while we can and just move forward with settling in. We'll be closer to family in Utah anyway. Let's just jump in.
Somehow still not the most rushed move that they've ever had.
Right. Yeah. This is a full week's notice. This isn't a flee-high move situation at all.
Now, when you're getting 3 days notice and you're moving on Monday, so no one at school knows, you just disappeared on Friday, never came back on Tuesday.
That was a long weekend for the Browns.
So all in all, Christine's just happy that it seems like Truly's okay with things, that she's really trying not to traumatize her with this whole divorce and the move, but hold tight, Christine, because Kody will make sure that he does that for you.
That's kind of his job, yeah. But in the meantime, here we have Mykelti, Tony, and little Avalon Chunk coming into town because they're going to help Christine move. But first and foremost, they have to go visit Robin and Kody over at Robin's house.
Time to kiss the ring at the She-Rah Chateau. That's what they're doing here.
And they're just sliding baby Avalon across the table like it's a shuffleboard.
You better watch out. Robin is baby hungry. She still is baby hungry. We don't know what will happen to little Avalon.
And I still don't know what that means because I know what baby fever is, but I still don't know what Robin means when she says she's baby hungry. And yeah, I'd be careful.
We find out that the reason why Mykelti has such a good relationship with Robin, in addition to having been one of her many babysitters.
One of the first nannies, officially.
Is that Robin was the first person to accept Tony into the family.
So that's a lot. That's a big one for Mykelti. And Tony's appreciative of it.
I cannot wait because this is where we are at in the rewatch when we pick up after the season ends. And we are going to get to watch the whole Tony and Mykelti relationship and wedding unfold.
This is going to be good, yes, because once this season of Sister Wives ends, we'll be coming right back in on the rewatch starting at season 10. So it'll be picking up on the impact of the catfish, and then we'll slowly be introduced to Tony as he begins a-courting Miss Mykelti.
Saul and Ari are allowed to touch not only Mykelti, but also the baby.
Yes, and we do get a brief instruction where Robin is telling Ari she has to wash her hands before she touches the baby, which is a good instruction. I don't know if that same instruction was given to Kody. I hope so, because he was holding Avalon as well.
I didn't see any hand sanitizer.
I did not either.
I don't believe these people care about COVID anymore.
At this point
and just
in the show.
generally, baby safety.
Well, yeah. What caught my attention in this scene was that there is an RV off in the background.
Yes.
At Robin's house.
There is a trailer. It appears to be still on their property because there is a bright orange extension cord running from their house to this RV.
So does Robin own an RV? Did Janelle buy her RV? And so that meant that Robin needed one too, apparently?
Did she buy one just so that Janelle would not have space to park her RV at the She-Rah Chateau?
Is this where Dayton is living? Is this what all adult male children have to do? Is you can't live in the house, so you have to live in a trailer on the property?
If that's the case, then why isn't there a bedroom for Truly?
Questions that lead to more questions.
I hope we learn more about it. They've been hiding that thing from us.
This is the reason why they don't have us run the tell-alls, because I would get sidetracked for an hour and a half asking just questions about why does Robin have an RV at her house?
It was big, too. It looked comparable to the size of Janelle's RV.
I wouldn't say it was that large.
Okay.
It's not that big. Janelle's RV is humongous.
You think it's like a good like one person queen size bed in the back there? One bedroom?
Yeah, probably not as much general common area space. I don't know why Aurora was talking so much shit on the RV then, if they have their own RV.
Right. Have you never been in the RV that's sitting on your property?
Probably not. They just buy stuff just to sort of have it. They just like to accumulate things. Makes them feel good.
No wonder there's no money in the family bank account. Kody bought not one, but 2 RVs.
Because at this point, it's an investment. It'd be stupid not to.
Anyway, Robin's really been looking forward to this check-in, as she calls it, with Mykelti and Tony, because she's a little worried about how their relationship is going to be, you know, now that your mom's like being a bitch and stuff.
So Tony and Mykelti have to reassure Robin, you're still mom, you're still grandma, business as usual. We can 100% support you and also 100% support Christine. Don't feel like we're picking a side because we're not. We'll support both of you through all of this endeavor. But this is where Kody chimes in because he feels like everything has affected his relationship with everybody, though. And Tony's reaction.
Tony gave us a reaction that was worthy of him being cast on The Office.
It was so perfect for the situation to hear Kody opining about all of these terrible, terrible impacts that has damaged his relationships with his adult children due to Christine leaving, when we all know damn well that's not the cause of a lot of this tension.
His face was great. Then Kody tries to shake Mykelti down for info on how long Christine's been talking about leaving. How long have you guys known?
He wants the dirt. Yeah, and it's a game. It's a blame game for Kody, and he's trying to shit talk, but he's allowed by his definition because he's been wounded. So he can weaponize his children for information. That's totally valid.
Mykelti does a really good job, though, fielding these questions. Like, Mykelti could nail any interview she goes into because she stays calm and she just says, well, you know, Mom talked to me about things. I knew that she was unhappy. She did the normal things that people do. You talk about the highs and the lows in your relationship. She really skirts around that question really well.
Yeah, but this is where Kody gets to complain as well, too, that he was the last to know. He was the last to know about Christine leaving. But I think this is interesting because if we check the tape, Truly was technically the last to know about this divorce. I think the difference being that Kody was the last to accept the divorce because Truly came to terms with this information in about 10 minutes flat. Whereas Kody is still struggling with it up until about last week. But he still goes back and forth. He has good days and bad.
So Mykelti just keeps reassuring them, look, no one's picking sides. These relationships are separate. I can have a relationship with you guys and a relationship with Mom, and those things don't have to affect one another.
And Kody is like, yes, I couldn't have said it better myself. I don't want anybody picking sides, but just make sure you pick mine.
Right. And also I'm doing the exact thing with Christine and Janelle, where I am letting my relationship with Christine affect my relationship with Janelle, but please don't do that to me.
But Mykelti has to keep explaining, I don't have a say in Christine's relationship with you or with your relationship, Kody, with Robin. I don't have a say in any of those things. Those are all just things that I get to be around and experience. And so if there are decisions that are being made, that is out of my control. And all I can do is support you as an individual because of my connection with you as well, too. So just reassuring Robin some more that, hey, I wasn't a part of that decision, keeping that separate from our relationship. I still support you as a mom and a grandma to my kid as well.
Mykelti knew what she had to come here and do, right? This was it.
She's fluffing.
She had to come here and show her re-acceptance of Robin all over again. Don't worry. And she stewed in front of Kody, too, because now there's nothing that Mykelti can do wrong because she has accepted Robin, and that is all Robin has ever wanted, is to be accepted by this family, cap in hand.
Right, yeah, because Robin has vaguely asked to fix things with Christine, but she's not interested in that right now, so it's just one last victimization before she goes for good measure.
I've noticed that she's leaving out the for right now part. in some of these interview clips.
All the time. Yeah, because that was something that Christine was very specific about in the response.
I need some time.
For now. For the time being.
Not I never want to see you again. I despise you.
Drop dead. Lose my number.
That was not what she said, but that was what Robin heard.
And what Robin hears, that's the gospel truth, according to Kody.
When the time comes to plan your next big getaway, know we got a destination idea for you. Orlando. Just think about it. The thrills at their 15 world-class theme parks, followed by awesome outdoor adventures, amazing food festivals, and top-notch dining spots. Orlando has all that and much more than you'd expect. In Orlando, anything is possible if you can imagine it. Plan your escape today and save at visitorlando.com. That's visitorlando.com for everything you need for an amazing getaway.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Hey there. Looking to level up your shopping experience? Let me introduce you to Amazon Live. If you haven't heard, it's a shoppable video experience where influencers and creators showcase the latest must-haves all while you shop in real time. And for those who love some celeb gossip, reality stars like Kyle Richards, Lala Kent, and friend of the pod, Paige DeSorbo. On her new show, In Bed with Paige DeSorbo, Paige invites top-tier guests to cozy up in her fluffy bed where they spill secrets, share nighttime routines, and even whip up midnight snacks. Stream and shop new episodes of her series In Bed with Paige DeSorbo every Tuesday at 7 p.m. ET by going to amazon.com/live/Paige_DeSorbo. Or you can watch Amazon Live's new live TV channel on Freevee or Prime Video under the DIY section and shop along on your phone.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Bombas makes the most comfortable socks, underwear, and T-shirts.
Warning, Bombas are so absurdly comfortable you may throw out all your other clothes.
Sorry, do we legally have to say that?
No, this is just how I talk, and I really love my Bombas.
They do feel that good. And they do good, too. One item purchased equals one item donated.
To feel good and do good, go to bombas.com/ACAST and use code ACAST for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/ACAST and use code ACAST at checkout.
It is moving day, and Christine's got her army of movers. We've got Mykelti, we've got Tony, we've got Gwen, we've got Noelle, who I want to point out is the puppy that destroyed Christine and Kody's marriage.
Right, yeah, this is the dog that started the downhill trajectory for Christine and Kody's marriage. I'm surprised that Kody hasn't actually blamed Noelle on camera yet.
And then Garrison is here as well. We find out Janelle's been roaming around later on, so we've got a big crew here helping to pack up the truck. Gwen drops a bomb on us. She does a little couch interview and says, again, reflecting on the whole thing with mom and dad getting divorced, I really thought my parents should have separated a long time ago. And she meant a long time ago because she says before we even moved to Vegas.
She's talking about flea-high move Christine should have left. Now that's some shit, because Christine definitely didn't have any assets then.
Christine was freaking out when she had to pay the water bill on time.
Remember? Yeah, when they almost lost their financing because she forgot to pay a utility bill.
She had to learn to live by herself when they moved to Vegas.
Which is probably a good thing. It did teach her some independent skills.
We got everybody helping to pack the truck while little baby Avalon is in the baby Bjorn, hanging off of Grandma Christine.
Yeah, Avalon's trying to chew her way out of this baby Bjorn while Christine's directing traffic. But Mykelti kind of took charge. She can tell Christine was super overwhelmed, just sensed it, and then just took the initiative and started with the operation here, Operation Move Out, basically, of what's going on.
Evacuate.
Yeah, evacuation plan.
One of the things that they decide to do is a walkthrough of the house because they need to assess how much is left to put in the truck, but also it's a way to have a nice goodbye to this place that was just such a lovely memory.
And we get to relive some of the trauma of the bedroom. Let's do that on the walkthrough. That's always good to do. Where Kody was so excited to buy this house and make this room his bedroom.
Their bedroom.
Well, I mean, for him, it was, at the time, it was going to be his, I guess. He thought it was going to be his. Not so much, because this is also the room where he told her they would never be intimate ever again.
Yeah, so she's starting to actually seem like she's having a little bit of a panic attack. She's getting short of breath. She's like, I don't like being in this room. It's hard for me to be in here.
Bad vibes.
Yeah.
We got bad energy in here.
There's a demon in here sucking the energy out of me. So I need to get out of this house.
Did you bring any sage? We got to clear this out because, yeah, she sold the bed set, remember, cleared that out. So that's one thing down. But honestly, what is the real silver lining there of selling that? You don't have to pack it.
Yeah, I'm not moving that.
I'm not going to bring that. I'm not going to load it onto the truck. I don't need to figure out space for it. It's gone. It's done.
They celebrate the fact that Christine's going to be near not only her kids, which we knew, but also her parents, her siblings. So she's really excited about leaving because she truly is going to be close to a lot more family.
Beginning the next chapter, it's closing the book, the lid on quite a large chapter of her life, which was living polygamy with Kody.
And all the years that she was told she had to save her grocery money if she wanted to go visit her sick dad.
So now she's got her house money and she can go visit him on a 45-minute drive whenever she feels like.
They decide they're just going to finish the rest tomorrow, which to me, it kind of looked like there was still a lot to go, even though they were very proud of how much they'd already packed.
It looked like most of it was in the garage, so at least staged to be put on the truck. And it sounded like from Christine's initial discussion there was that most of it was just boxes that were left. So I think it'd be easier to just kind of pack those up before you close the door and head on out.
So we know that that's part of what's going to be done tomorrow. But what's the plan? Is anyone going to be coming over? Mykelti wants to know. Is there a goodbye setup? Or are we going to do something socially distanced for breakfast?
No.
Are we going to destroy anyone's property?
Oh, well, I thought about it, but no. Yeah, nothing is planned. We have no plans. Christine isn't planning on it. Nobody said anything, but Mykelti wants to plan something. It's your last night here. Maybe just open invite, no pressure. But Mykelti wants to, and she's trying to push to have people come and say goodbye.
Oh, she's going to apply pressure.
Yeah, no pressure, but I'm definitely pressuring you.
Now, some people kind of questioned Mykelti's motives here. Is she just trying to stir the pot and start problems? I think this is also maybe a little producer driven because we're ending a big chapter in this history of this show. So how could we have the last discussion with this family getting together be that blow up on the porch that probably they haven't even mentally processed at this point themselves?
Yeah, so the excuse that Mykelti's giving is that she doesn't want anybody to regret not saying goodbye, but I don't think that she's considering how fucking weird this is going to be either, too, because it's I don't think this is going to help much.
Maybe it would have been better to have had them come at different times.
That might have been better, because then it wouldn't have been so us and them sort of staged out. But even then, it's still weird.
Well, the problem is you can have the best intentions, right? But if other people aren't coming into the situation trying to make the best of it or actually put an effort forward to be civil with one another, it's not going to go well. And that's what we see play out.
That's basically what starts to happen here, because Mykelti's main intention, she was trying to avoid this big divide of the finality of Christine leaving. She doesn't want that to be a permanent understanding for the entire family of saying, this is it. We're fractured now, never coming back together. Nobody's ever going to be able to be around each other. She just wanted to kind of normalize saying goodbye.
I could also see Kody holding this against them and being like, your mother never even said goodbye. She didn't say goodbye to me. She didn't say goodbye to Robin. She didn't say goodbye to the kids. She didn't let Truly come say goodbye to me.
I still think, yeah, it has to be producer driven though, too, because the Kody yelling can't be the last interaction. that you have on tape.
So we cut to the next day. It's actually like the next evening, which I'm glad we fast forwarded through some packing because we've seen enough of that on this show.
We've seen so many moves. Just add this to the list.
By some small miracle, and probably also a small bonus check from the producers, everyone's showing up. Well, all the important people except for Mary.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And Robin is here. She was going to honor Christine's wishes by just not having anything to do with her, staying out of her way. Because, you know, Christine told her to fuck off and never interact with her ever again.
Well, and we know how good Robin is at staying out of the way. She never meddles or gets involved in anybody else's shit.
No, so she's here just because Mykelti asked her to do it. Not because she actually genuinely loves her sister wife, is going to miss her, and wants to say goodbye.
No. So we have Kody and Robin's kids coming around to the backyard, and it's already getting dark out. It's basically nighttime, and Kody starts shit-talking immediately. As soon as they round the corner to the backyard, oh, gee, I thought this was supposed to be a party. Like, he's upset that there weren't decorations and streamers and hats and noisemakers.
I wish that there was a divorce cake, a divorce party in the backyard, just held moments before Christine gets in the truck to leave.
And it's like, dude, everything's on the truck. Everything that I own is on this vehicle because I'm leaving tomorrow.
I didn't know if he was being facetious. Like, he thought that they would.
I highly doubt it.
You really think that he thought there'd be a party?
He said that wholeheartedly.
He thought they were going to be hors d'oeuvres.
He was promised a moving party by Mykelti because I'm sure she texted him. They didn't talk on the phone. She texted him and said, hey, it'd be great if you come by. And that was his expectation. Nobody promised anything. That was just when he heard that, that was the expectation that was set in his head.
This is where Ari, who like a normal person, realizes everyone else is inside. The party that Kody is looking for is currently in the house, wants to go inside. And he tells her, no, we can't go in the house because of COVID. We have to be socially distanced.
Because that's a convenient excuse to use now.
Right. I'm confused. These kids went back to school in person.
They were not wearing masks when they came home from school.
No, I didn't see a mask in anyone's hand, hanging off their backpack, anything. But they're going to school every day. They also interacted with Mykelti and Tony and the baby already over at Robin's house. So why can't they even stand near each other?
Because I think the C in COVID stands for Christine now. Over at Robin's house. And that's what they mean when they're talking about COVID protocols now. It's how to interact with and deal with being around Christine.
I guess one explanation could be that the crew can't go inside the house, so they can't film them if they all go inside.
That could track, technically.
I guess that then if you're going to explain it on camera, that is technically the truth, right?
Then say that.
The crew can't come inside?
Yeah. Or throw up a title card like they did throughout all of COVID.
Corey, we can't break the fourth wall on Sister Wives.
Heaven forbid. We only did that for the entirety of COVID. Every single episode.
It's starting to rain, so Kody's already upset.
It's a light drizzle. Rain is a bit of an exaggeration.
You can't even tell that it's raining. Nobody puts their hoods up. No, there's not much rain at all.
It's like 2 drops. And then Kody's like, all right, I'm leaving in 5 minutes.
Nobody's coming out of the house yet, so he has to run up to the window in the kitchen, which is open, and yell, hey, everybody.
And he scares the shit out of Christine. Because it's a real, here's Johnny, shining moment.
You literally hear her say, oh gosh, that was terrifying.
Like he scares the hell out of her.
She did not want to hear his voice ever again.
She wasn't expecting to see his face pop up in her kitchen window out of the darkness. She thought she was going to be on a true crime Dateline episode.
For real.
She's like, oh my God, my biggest fear.
Why does this man just use sliding doors in this house or scream in open windows?
I don't know, but it's not any less awkward outside. It's still super awkward because then we're just cutting over to Robin and her kids standing quietly in the drizzle.
Far away from the house, too.
Distance.
They made sure that they were picking their ground and they were standing. They were standing their ground.
And now, bless Mykelti's heart for trying to keep the family together, but Kody's not interested in that. He never wants to see Christine ever again.
He doesn't want to drive by this house ever again, which I want you to remember when we talk about next week.
Please make a note of that. Yeah, he doesn't want anything to do with this house ever again, doesn't want to look at it, doesn't want to step foot near it, doesn't want to be in the same county, district.
Doesn't want to deal with any of this. Gabe has shown up. He conveniently missed the entire packing portion of things from what we saw. Smart child. He tells us he's sad about Christine leaving. That part really sucks. But if it was him in her position, he would do the same thing.
Honestly, he can't blame her.
Which is pretty much what we're hearing from all the kids.
Yeah.
They all think that Christine was in a situation that really, really was shitty, and they would not want to be treated that way themselves, so they don't blame her for getting out.
Which is when we get Mary's take again, too, because who better to understand Christine's situation than Mary? But Mary isn't here in person. She wasn't at the shindig because she was out of town at the B&B. And she's glad she didn't go because it would have been weird anyway. It's awkward. It's a fake goodbye. She's been told by Christine that Christine doesn't want a relationship with her anyway. So why would she go there and pretend to care about Christine leaving?
Because you're family. And sometimes you have to pretend to like people that you don't like just because they're related to you.
Not by Mary's definition anymore. Christine is not married to this man, so she has no obligation to Christine.
No, to be honest, as we've talked about before, we know our theory that Kody and Mary are cut from the same cloth. They are the same person, and they are just as petty as one another and have the same exact reaction to this whole situation.
Same exact thing. Absolutely. So now we're gathering everybody in the backyard. It is so awkward. It's so weird. It's very intense. These are all the words that are being used to describe the atmosphere that's taking place here. And then we see a very strange exchange between Kody and Truly where he's asking if she's excited to leave tomorrow.
That's a trick question.
Right, because it's a loaded question.
And so she doesn't know how to react. So she's kind of just like, yeah. And he's like, well, you're not smiling. If you were happy about it, if you were excited, you'd be smiling more.
And he's saying that he's trying to make sure that she's happy to be leaving. But that's not what it is. He's just trying to upset her and complicate this further.
Mm-hmm. Because if she was smiling about it, he'd be mad at her for that. And she knows that. So she's trying to control her emotions because she's learned to do that around him to appease him. And so she's not really giving away too much of what she's feeling. But that also is upsetting him because he wants her to be upset about it.
Kody's feeling out of control. None of this is what he wants. And he has no power in this situation. So Christine is trying to say something at this point. She's thanking everybody for coming. Mykelti tries to go into a little speech of her own.
She is so nervous. Her voice is starting to crack. She's not really sure where she's going with this word salad.
She's reminding everyone that they're a family. That's why we're here. Thank you for coming and participating. We're still a family, even though we're a standoff family, because we're standing off right now. But it is what it is. There's no blame on either side. And we're grateful we can remain a family and support each other moving forward.
Which is a great sentiment, but it's not true.
It's not entirely true, and not everybody believes it or agrees with it, very clearly.
No one says anything. It's crickets until Janelle finally speaks up and tells Mykelti that she just verbalized exactly what was on her heart, but she didn't know how to put into words. So another strike against Janelle for saying something supportive of Christine in front of Kody.
Right. You got to be careful with the amount of support that you're displaying, Janelle. I appreciate it, but please, you have to think of your own well-being as well, too, after Christine leaves. Because if it wasn't already awkward enough, now we have little Ari chiming in and asking Christine very direct questions about why she left Kody.
This is just, I understand she's a small child. It's unfortunate that apparently her father hasn't explained this situation enough in a way that she understands, that she had to ask this in front of the group. And that she never had a moment to talk to Christine about it privately.
I'll take you one further. I bet you that Kody asked Ari to ask this question on the drive over.
You think so?
I think he geared her up.
You're probably right.
Because she was probably asking him at some point.
Why don't you ask Christine?
And he said that was exactly the response that he gave her. So she did.
You're right. I had to go to the pettiest part of my brain.
I'm hardwired for it. So I already knew what that conversation looked like, and that's probably what happened.
So Christine tells her, well, we just weren't in love anymore. Sometimes that happens. And this is where Ari gets scary. She kind of starts hissing and she tells her, go on dates.
Have dates.
Have dates.
It's a great idea, but sometimes that's not always enough, honey. Thank you for the suggestion. Thanks anyway.
She's like hiding behind Robin and peeking out from her leg and hissing the thing about dates again and then hiding again. No adult speaks up. No one says anything to her about, that's a little bit inappropriate. Let's not ask Christine questions about that. Like, we're here to say goodbye. We'll talk about it when we get home. Nothing like that.
Oh, no. Nobody's going to circle back with this kid and explain anything in greater detail at all.
Also, Robin's kids just stood there, the older ones, making stink faces at everyone the whole time. Did you notice that?
Yeah, that was mainly the sentiment that was going on, because I'm sure that Robin geared them up just like Thanksgiving the year prior for COVID, where, nobody wants to be around you guys. And they're choosing to not follow protocols so they don't have to be around you.
Oh, and this is the last time you're ever going to see Christine. You have to come say goodbye because she told me she doesn't want to have a relationship with any of us anymore after this.
We're dead to her, so she's dead to us. So let's go say goodbye. So they do start to finally say goodbye. And then apparently Kody's the only one who's allowed to get hugs from Truly and the other side to cross the line, because that's how COVID works for them as a family.
So again, then I guess forget everything we said about the theory about the producers and the crew and having to film outside for the crew, because he won't allow anyone else to hug Truly goodbye, which is cruel because he won't let Ari and Saul give her a hug goodbye.
Yeah, this is just another weird control thing because he doesn't know COVID, but he's using COVID protocols as an excuse for them to not get close.
Right. When last week he was so proud that Ari tagged around and hugged and was bothering another little girl in the class who was sad. But she can't give her own sister a hug goodbye.
And if you're going to risk exposure where you're hugging Truly and then you're going to go home and hug Robin's kids, the same thing as if they were going to hug Truly. So just let it happen. If you're going to take the risk, just take the risk.
It didn't make any sense. It's just Kody being a dick. And then he tells Truly that her phone has video chat as if she just is not aware of that at this point in time. And as though he has just learned that he could pick his phone up and video chat with any of his children anytime he wants, even though we're, how long, a year and a half beyond that into COVID?
Oh gosh, yeah, because Truly's like, oh no, I know. I use it to call Aspen all the time. I talk with Aspen on video chat all the time. The day I found out that you and Mom were divorced, I had a nice long conversation with Aspen and with Mykelti and with Grandma.
You think she's going to tell Kody that her camera's broken?
Oh yeah, it's going to go right into catfish scenarios here.
Can't talk.
90-day.
Christine's thinking everyone's mad after that exchange because it didn't go well, including Robin's kids.
Well, Robin's kids look angry. Yeah. So it's fair for Christine to kind of assess it that way, where it looks like that side of the family's upset with her.
Robin denies that, which I think is funny because her kids cry at literally everything. So how are you going to deny that they were mad versus upset or devastated when there was not one tear shed?
Oh, no, because the kids get a pass. The children are the innocent party in all of this. They're just the victims in all this, much like Robin.
Christine breaks down because Janelle gives her a hug goodbye. This is honestly the hardest goodbye that she has to do. And she says she really didn't need this goodbye party. It was the worst goodbye she's ever witnessed. So not great reviews on Mykelti's party throwing abilities here.
Worse than Christine thought it would be. She's excited for a new chapter, but that was literally the worst goodbye ever.
And then we just watch everyone go their separate ways. Robin, Kody, and their kids go to the car, and everyone else goes back inside Christine's house. Next episode. Next week, everyone is dealing with the aftermath of Christine leaving. Janelle is sad. Everyone else is angry. Then the deal falls through on Christine's house. So Kody tries to get Janelle to agree to buy it, which seems to start a big argument.
Well, yeah, for this episode, keep in mind, Kody just said that he didn't want to see this house. He didn't want to drive by this house. And then apparently next week, he's going to be suggesting that he and Janelle buy this house?
Make it make sense. And then we start talking about the respect thing again. Kody says a man can't be married to a woman who doesn't respect him.
RESPCCDs. Find out what it means to me.
Thank you for listening. If you want to support us, the best way to do that is by subscribing to the podcast or leaving a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify.
Be sure to chat with us about the episode on our Discord channel by joining our Patreon, patreon.com/survivingpod.
Stay tuned, share with friends. See you next week.
Hey there. Looking to level up your shopping experience? Let me introduce you to Amazon Live. If you haven't heard, it's a shoppable video experience where influencers and creators showcase the latest must-haves all while you shop in real time. And for those who love some celeb gossip, reality stars like Kyle Richards, Lala Kent, and friend of the pod, Paige DeSorbo. On her new show, In Bed with Paige DeSorbo, Paige invites top-tier guests to cozy up in her fluffy bed where they spill secrets, share nighttime routines, and even whip up midnight snacks. Stream and shop new episodes of her series In Bed with Paige DeSorbo every Tuesday at 7 p.m. ET by going to amazon.com/live/Paige_DeSorbo. Or you can watch Amazon Live's new live TV channel on Freevee or Prime Video under the DIY section and shop along on your phone.